We certainly hope so, Michael. Yes, the backs have gone back into their position. It's as we anticipated. Stephen Frampton did indeed win the toss, and he opts to play against the wind for the first 35 minutes. It's an absolutely wonderful, colourful but blustery scene here at Semple Stadium this afternoon. And this gentleman here, I'm sure, has the fingers crossed that his side can win another Munster title. Frampton and Brian Greene, by the way, have switched positions straight away. Taking a look around to see how many changes Clare have made, if indeed any. No indication of anything so far. Clare are unchanged. No positional switches. Is that a first? Match is underway. It's the 109th Munster hurling final. And straight away that is Brian Quinn making the clearance there for Clare. And Clare will be hoping to build up a decent lead towards half-time. Tony Brown leaving it behind. Ollie Baker's there as well. Will it be Baker against Queally in the middle of the field? That was anticipated. Here's Billy O'Sullivan against the wind, trying to take on the whole of the Clare backline. Throwing it outside here towards Dave Bennett. Getting it inside towards big Dan Shanahan. Popping up on the left-hand side. Jersey pulled. Referee says play away. The shot is just to the right. First attack then falling to Waterford. And Dan Shanahan from Lismore coming close. Dan, who has won 5 county under-21 titles with his club, formerly of Lismore CBS. Davy Fitzgerald back on the ground where he scored a penalty goal some years ago in the Munster final. Towards PJ O'Connell, spills past him. It's Fergal Hartley who's back. Can be such an influence. Waterford hoping he'll get the ball away early. Into the centre towards Peter Queally. Pulled on over there by Dan Shanahan. The referee says hang on a while. That was a foul. Speaking to Dan, explaining exactly why. Pulling before the ball had arrived. It's going to be a free downfield to Clare. Anthony Daly still feeling the effects of that challenge. Along with the breeze this afternoon, there's a fair degree of mist from time to time. The team doctor's been out to have a check on Anthony Daly's well-being. He's okay. So the free to Sean McMahon. Rain lashing down just now. Wind behind him from 65 metres out. And he's put it off the post and back down here again. Oh, what a chance, what a goal! Alan Markham. What a start. Clare go a goal in front. From that long-range free by Sean McMahon. This is what happened. Back it came once again. Falling out there to the man in the corner. Alan Markham driving it home. A goal then after just 2 minutes play. Again it's broken up by the men in the backline there. Brian Quinn, supported by Anthony Daly. Down into the corner towards Niall Gilligan. Well, what a start that is for Clare. There was some holding back there. It's going to be a free out for Waterford. Well, that is the dream start for the favourites going into this. And quite a body blow to Waterford. Well, would you think that that free by McMahon might well have just sailed over the crossbar to cause just minimal damage. So it's going to be Tom Feeney hitting into the wind towards Tony Brown, beaten for it. Brown is starting out here against Colin Lynch, up towards Paul Flynn. A real buzz of anticipation, runs away from Paul Flynn, has support, Peter Queally towards Billy O'Sullivan, against Brian Quinn once again. Quinn, the Clare man from Tulla, does well. Huge clearance down towards Markham once again. This time it's picked up here by Fergal Hartley. Towards Dan Shanahan, catches it well. Good balance, nicely inside here towards Anthony Kirwan. And Brian Lohan going back. Strong, forceful full-back play by Lohan, as you'd anticipate. Paul Flynn there. Frank Lohan was being held off. It's going to be a free downfield. And Davy Fitzgerald is racing out of the goal to take this one. Davy was in association with the Clare minor team, who were beaten before this in the minor match by Cork. And I was down in the dressing room area when the teams are coming in, and forget about all this backdoor stuff, because Clare were absolutely despondent, Cork absolutely overjoyed. Everybody wants to win the Munster Championship. Davy Fitzgerald, a big one inside. Gilligan's in there, Taft's there as well. PG O'Connell was pulling on it. Clare survived this time, or Waterford survived and managed to get that ball out. And it is Sean Cullinan who was fouled. Sean from Passage. The family steeped in hurling lore. His mother before him was a camogie star in the Kilkenny colours. Won All-Ireland medals in 1960 and I think 1959 as well. Here's Brendan Landers. Silenced many of his critics in his last performance. Miss-hit that one. Not helped by the severity of the breeze. Brown next. Good ball inside towards Paul Flynn. Gets there with Kerwin there as well. Dan Shanahan has it, and Shanahan's put it over the bar. Dan Shanahan getting Waterford's first point. The fans delighted to have something to cheer about after the body blow of the concession of the goal so early on. This was where the full forward Kerwin was showing there along with Paul Flynn. Back to Dan Shanahan, and that went sailing between the posts. Peter Quealy's over there chasing. Difficult to dispossess Jamesy O'Connor to PJ O'Connell. Well blocked. O'Connell again works so hard up front. That will be a sideline ball for Waterford. Two sides for so many years in the doldrums in Munster hurling, and today their big day has come. And the famous Kerry writer Con Houlihan always goes to the big matches. Beautifully cut in. Delightfully up that time by Brian Green. Now Tony Brown. An angled one across towards his midfield partner Peter Quealy. Quealy looking for a second point of his left-hand side. Daly scooping that one away from the attentions of Big Dan Shanahan. Now it's Frank Lohan. For many, many years, of course, it was Michael O'Halloran who wore the number 2. Rather unlucky to be out of the Clare side at this stage. Here's Colin Lynch. Real big discovery from last season. Hand passing that one ahead. David Ford hitting it, but he's hit it away to the right. And that is a first wide for Clare. Should be quite a duel, that one there, between David Ford and Stephen Frampton, who's gone across to pick him up. Brian Green playing on the far side there is on Jamesy O'Connor. Liam Doyle lets it run beyond him. Colin Lynch coming back for it, eluding Tony Brown. Down there into the corner towards Gilligan. This is Fergal Hartley for Waterford. And the Dacia men getting into trouble. Eamon Taff causing some consternation back there. Cullinan having to come across. Can't take it up. First touch wasn't good. This is O'Connell. Back across towards Jamesy O'Connor. Markham's there as well. It's Alan Markham coming onto this one. Brian Green gets in with a wonderful block. Out it comes to Jamesy O'Connor. The tireless Jamesy steadying himself and firing it over the bar. First point for Jamesy O'Connor, and they'll be very, very happy indeed, the Clare fans. This was Brian Green coming onto this one to deny Alan Markham. And Jamesy O'Connor there in the follow-up, making it 1-1 to a point. So in the 9th minute now of this first half, that's Ken McGrath knocking it ahead there. And again, coming and looking for everything is Anthony Kerwin against Brian Lohan. Didn't manage to hit the target, however, after all the hard work, and that's 2 wides now by Waterford. But he's looked a useful target man since being switched from the half-back line up to full forward. Davy Fitzgerald's puck out. Plenty of length in towards David Ford. Brian Flannery, the ex-Tipperary player. Won an All-Ireland Under-21 medal here in his colours of Tipperary. Now playing for Waterford, watching as that ball from PG O'Connell has gone to the right. Gerald McCarthy there on the right-hand side, and alongside him is Greg Fives, one of the backroom team. along with John Galvin, of course, and Shane Ahern. But Shane Ahern is there just behind the goal. You can just see him, assistant coach. That's batted down by Ollie Baker. Everything a bit tight and tense early on in this match. Well, Brian Green made a very good connection with his last sideline cut. Son of Jim. Not such a good one that time. Daly taking it. And in one sweeping movement, turning it back down towards Alan Markham. Markham back in there to chase against Flannery. Good control by Markham, a young player, only 19 years of age. Coming in once again. Looking for some support, not getting it. It was Frampton who was back there initially. Out as well by Tom Feeney. Out into the centre to Fergal Hartley. Waterford will take heart. Dan Shanahan. Wrestled back. Getting himself the free. Held back that time as he was coming out by Ollie Baker. And a switch in the Waterford forward line. Dave Bennett, number 12, has now gone to full forward, and Anthony Kerwin has come out towards the left half forward position. Nicely taken down there by Anthony Daly. Across towards PJ O'Connell. Ooh, a wild pull. A broken stick there by Fergal Hartley. Getting a replacement stick straight away. Well, Ger Loughnane there and Tony Considine will be very pleased with the start that their side have made. That goal by Alan Markham after just about 2 minutes play. Number 15 coming into the end of it. But they're hoping now to build on that. Dan Shanahan tapping it back nicely to Ken McGrath. And that one has gone away to the left. And the conditions are making good hurling very, very difficult this afternoon. 3 wides now by Ken McGrath's team, whose dad, Pat, of course, was a great success in the Waterford inter-county colours of yesteryear. Davy Fitzgerald should be driving them the proverbial mile in the first half, putting pressure there on Fergal Hartley. Here's David Ford, challenged by Stephen Frampton. Frampton's lost the stick. Taff is there, Markham playing it back in. Brian Flannery. Standard all a bit ragged in the opening minutes of this game. Clare getting themselves out of trouble again with Sean Cullinan and Fergal Hartley combining. Liam Doyle getting away from his marker. Tony Brown, and another player coming in was Brian Green. First touch there by Tom Feeney, not of the highest order. Brian Green much better shooting that time. Crisp delivery. Sean McMahon is under it for Clare. Dropped there by Tom Feeney, operating on the left-hand side as Flannery has switched across. That's Stephen Frampton, blocked down. A lot of blocking in this match. Brian Green, Frampton again. That time Eamon Tapp seemed to be dragging down his man. Here's Sean Cullinan, who started prominently, but having difficulty getting any kind of length into the puck. That's going to be a free to Waterford. Dave Bennett, the player who was falling on the ground. This, the block just moments ago there, very well affected by Niall Gilligan against Stephen Frampton. So it's going to be Tony Brown from Mount Sion in Waterford to take this free. Right in the centre of the field. Wind against him. Lobbed in there towards McGrath. Back it comes down. Brian Lohan coming in. Ken McGrath was there as well. I know Gerald McCarthy has a great deal of time for young Ken McGrath. So little to choose between the teams, and Clare not really building steadily upon the dream start that they made. That time they tried to engineer something with David Ford being fouled. Ford has followed Frampton across and gone into left half forward. Niall Gilligan looking for the chances. Jamesy hitting it, and that's gone over the bar. Jamesy O'Connor's second point. The first from play, that from a free. And so Clare stretched their lead, as they'll be indeed hoping to do, in the first 35 minutes. And it's 1-2 to a point. Well, Clare, or rather Waterford's forward line, continues to rotate and change around. They now have just two men in the inside forward line. Paul Flynn is one of them. Billy O'Sullivan's there as well. Maybe it's a sensible tactic, playing against the breeze, to allow one of their corner forwards go out into the half forward line to try and forage a bit more. Ball still in play, taken there by Dave Bennett towards Paul Flynn. Onto his right hand side, partially blocked. Billy O'Sullivan's in after it in case it runs loose. It doesn't. David Fitzgerald with the clearance towards Ollie Baker at midfield. David Ford coming to pick this one up. And that was too many steps. Referee indicating that 4 steps is as many as you're allowed to take in hurling. That was a fabulous catch. Good leap in the air by Tony Brown. So Paul Flynn has come out to hit this one. Paul just playing in his 8th ever championship match. In the previous 7 he scored 5 goals and 37 points. This is the man who got 10 points against Tipperary, 5 of those from frees. And this is first chance of the afternoon. Low enough trajectory, but he's put it to the left. Greatly disappointed. Paul, who's a 25-year-old bank official. Well, as somebody said to me not all that long ago, JBM I think it was, he's worth the admission fee alone just to come in and see him play. That's run back in there to Fergal Hartley. Towards Dan Shanahan. Resourceful man. Good at carrying it forward, but Baker in there with a lovely hook. Shanahan made very little headway. And that's Solly Baker back there, almost saying out of my way. Liam Doyle with the clearance. Picking out PG O'Connell with great accuracy. Now, has he got the accuracy? He certainly has. PG O'Connell with his first point. Well, he's a player that will always contribute something. He works so hard up front, trying to tie down defenders and make it difficult for them to make clearances. And he's made it 1-3 to a point. And all of that coming from Ollie Baker's hard work and a great pass to O'Connell. Down on the sideline with some news, we've got Kieran Mullooly.
The positional changes are continuing in the Clare half forward line every 2 minutes. Jamesy O'Connor switches wings, PG O'Connell goes out to his wing, and David Ford all of a sudden goes on the 40.
Well, they did that against Cork as well to try and bamboozle them. It worked on that occasion as Gilligan hits it, but Gilligan has hit it to the right. And now that's 3 wides for Clare, and for Waterford it's 5 so far. And as you can see, a game that's only managed a goal and 4 points to date, and that after nearly 18 minutes. The fans of both teams now trying to get behind their side, in particular Waterford, who will feel if they can keep it tight all the way to half-time, and if Clare continue to miss chances, then they'll have a right good chance with the breeze at their backs for the second 35 minutes. But that's a long way away. Dan Shanahan up into the corner, but there's nobody there because they have withdrawn one of their corner forwards. Paul Flynn in to get a little block on it. Good work by him, good work by Brian Quinn as well. Here's Anthony Daly, bottled up in there. Anthony Kerwin making headway. It's the Waterford full forward, Kerwin. Good shoulder there by Brian Long, but the referee says it wasn't shoulder to shoulder as it needed to be. And the booing is from the Clare followers, and it's going to be a free in. Well, of course, the side-to-side charge they talk about in rules, we all call it a shoulder, but it has to be affected shoulder on shoulder. Here's Paul Flynn, having missed one from some distance. From the 20-metre mark, he fires this one over the bar. And Waterford have another score. And now it's 1-3 to 2 points in what is proving a very low-scoring match. This is the debatable point again. Now shoulder to shoulder it needs to be, and as you can see there was a bit of impact with the chest as well. Here's PG O'Connell, high challenge that time by Fergal Hartley with the stick. Referee giving the free in to Clare, and that's on the 45-metre line. Well, Clare will be hoping now to take each and every one of the chances that present themselves for the remaining 15 and a half minutes of the half. And that's low inside towards Gilligan. Taft's there as well, and Eamon Taft has put it over the bar. That's the first score for Eamon Taft. Eamon Taft did a really good job when he finally got to start in that semi-final against Cork. Finished with 3 points that day. They wait in the middle of the field. The fans, I still probably think, waiting for the fireworks to happen here. It's a real cat and mouse game. Tony Brown lobbing it inside there towards the two-man inside forward line. Here goes Flynn! Paul Flynn on the ground, looking to try and strike it. Stop by the goalkeeper. The follow-up by Kerwin, neatly taken back by Sean McMahon. And in the end, it's cleared out there by Anthony Daly. Well, that was a wonderful save by David Fitzgerald. Waterford had a really good goal chance. Back in the half-back line, they battle to try and get it away. Here comes Ollie Baker. A tight angle for Ollie, and he floats it over the bar. There might well be the difference at the end of this match. It might have been a Waterford goal. It ends up being a Clare point, all in the 1.5 minute. This was when Flynn was going away here. Just watch McMahon coming across here, and that was a definite foul. Nothing came of it, however. Here's Tony Brown. This time it is a free to Waterford. So once again, Brown to strike this one. They wait inside, Ken McGrath waiting. Lobbed in there. Brian Lowen sees that one drop down. Kerwin was there, and coming across, the least experienced member of the backline, Brian Quinn, playing in his third championship match, out to Liam Doyle. 2 against 1. Hartley, one of the two for Waterford, taking possession. Up towards Ken McGrath. Steadying himself, and that has gone to the left. On a better afternoon, that might well have sailed between the posts for Ken McGrath. But the wind continues to howl here. A gusting breeze blowing right down the field behind David Fitzgerald. And whatever about the foul by McMahon, that was a very good stop on the line by Fitzgerald. Here's Jamesy O'Connor beating Brian Green. Cullinan comes out, bats it away there towards Stephen Frampton. Quick little adjustment of positioning, took too many steps but gets away with it. Unable to get that ball cleanly away, however. Niall Gilligan firing it across towards Jamesy O'Connor. Beautiful speed and control by Jamesy O'Connor. Satisfied with the point. A third point by Jamesy. Wonderful work again by the hard-working Clare forwards. How often in the past we've paid tribute to their backline, but the forwards worked just as hard, and they've made it 1-6 to 2 points. That was great work by Niall Gilligan. Should have been away by Stephen Frampton initially, but wasn't. Brendan Landers. Peter Queally drops it down. Now playing his club hurling in Cork with Sarsfield's, Teddy McCarthy's club. Up to Tony Brown, his midfield partner. Early ball inside towards Kerwin. Anthony Kerwin still battling in there with Lowen. This is Billy O'Sullivan, the most experienced member, but Billy has put it to the left. Looks at the referee, didn't believe it. 7 wides now by Waterford, playing against the stiff breeze. Well, if Clare can create just as many chances in the second half, Waterford won't go in all that terribly confident themselves, because you'd fancy the Clare forwards to be a bit more accurate. Fergal Hartley fouled. PG O'Connell, quick word by the referee. Both sides have had identical scoring chances so far, 11 scoring chances. Gerald McCarthy is having words with the linesman Pat O'Connor. And there's Gerald pacing up and down. Ger Loughnane was there also. As much drama off the field as on the field. Here's Tony Brown. Ollie Baker after him towards Peter Queally. Quick nip inside the cover of the Clare defence. That's a poor final ball towards Dave Bennett and gives a chance to Liam Doyle to get it away. Tony Brown seemed to be pushed into the back by PG O'Connell. The referee says it was a fair shoulder, didn't appear to be. Here's Ollie Baker, nicely forward towards David Ford, juggling it onto his stick. And still Ford, aware that he couldn't catch it a third time there, looking for something, getting nothing. And Brendan Landers makes the clearance for Waterford into the middle of the field. Dave Bennett trying to take it around Liam Doyle. There's a trip there. Ken McGrath goes down. Seemed to tangle with Sean McMahon. Bennett playing that ball inside towards Kerwin. Trying to set something up here for Billy O'Sullivan. The shot saved by David Fitzgerald. Well, he really had a good chance to put that one over the bar. O'Sullivan failed to take it. Fergal Hartley put under pressure. A lot of pressure on the Clare backline. This is Alan Markham. Blocked down. Tom Feeney. The referee says ball was picked up off the ground and that's going to be a free down. Well, Alan Markham was in the thick of that. He's only 19 years of age, played for the minors for 2 years. This was that attempted shoulder by PG O'Connell, but it was into the back of Tony Brown. Here's the free for Waterford. 9 minutes to go to half-time. Bennett, an angled ball inside. The Clare backline going back. Kerwin's there. Again, it's that tidy left corner back. Brian Quinn. Out it comes towards Peter Queally, and he's happy with the sideline cut. Well, the rain has eased. Breeze as strong as ever, but the sun making an attempt to come through here. Thick cloud overhead. Queally cutting it in. Towards Dave Bennett. Breaks down here towards Sean McMahon. Wonderful centre half back, thundering out. Down towards Taff. And Sean Cullinan happy to see that one out over the sideline. Well, Waterford with just 2 points in the first half. Many chances created up at Anthony Kerwin's end. Cullinan cutting. Beautiful ball up. 2 Clare men there waiting for it, and the third man coming in. That was Sean McMahon. Colin Lynch. Quite enough so far. Across there beautifully to Alan Markham, looking for another score, but not the kind of deadly finishing that the Clare management would have been expecting. A word of encouragement from Jamesy O'Connor. 4 wides for Clare. As we heard earlier, they had about 11 scoring chances at that stage, up around the 12 at this point. Landers coming outside the small rectangle, which he shouldn't strictly do. Jamesy O'Connor inside towards Niall Gilligan, player of great pace. Quick look up at the post, and that's a fine shot by Gilligan. He made one earlier on for Jamesy O'Connor, now he's got one himself, and Ger will be a bit happier because they are certainly taking most of their chances, or at least a high proportion of them. 1-7 to 2 points. Landers pucking it out. This time Dan Shanahan. The pass is not reaching their targets usually. Here's Paul Flynn. Flynn challenged by 2 players. Had a goal chance earlier on. This is an important chance, and it's stopped again, but it's lost in by Anthony Kerwin. Are gone, and Waterford have got a goal. The Waterford flags flying high here, proudly so, and Paul Flynn leading the rest of the Clare defence a merry dance. It was a great stop by David Fitzgerald, but in the follow-up Kerwin got there and made it 1-7 to 1-2. Now surely both sides will pick up after that. Clare stung. Surely Waterford would be greatly heartened. Here's Liam Doyle. Fresh air puck by Doyle. Bennett was alongside him. Not such a good connection initially by Dan Shanahan, away by Daly. The run across here, Alan Markham there against Brian Flannery. Little reaction there by the Clare number 15 because he did receive an injury. Well, Gerald McCarthy was saying during the week that there were going to be many signposts for Waterford during this year and maybe last year and next year as well. Now Gerald Loughnane must be a little bit shaken by that. I think Gerald McCarthy's point was that everything was a step forward, getting to the league final, now getting to the Munster final. Here's Tony Brown, inside towards Anthony Kirwan, and again it's David Fitzgerald. Well, it was only when he was lying on the ground eventually that David Fitzgerald was actually beaten. Here comes Jamesy O'Connor. Brian Greene races after him. It's Jamesy O'Connor showing great pace, shortening the grip on the stick, and he turns it into another score. A 4th point for Jamesy. Arguably the greatest forward that Clare have produced during this golden era, 1-8 to 1-2. Brian Greene was chasing after him, but you can see how much pace he has off the blocks. What an athlete and what a hurler. Just about 4 minutes to the break. Dave Bennett challenged by Brian Quinn. Again in towards the goalkeeper. Not for the first time, the ball has dropped short into the arms of David Fitzgerald, and straight away, without even having a puck out, he's able to turn it into a chance at the other end. It's broken up by Fergal Hartley. Still the great-hearted Hartley. Ollie Baker chasing after him, stopped by Colin Lynch. In comes Billy O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan had made his debut against Clare in 1988, and that was a tight one as well. Peter Queally sending it across there. That's Liam Doyle. Down towards David Ford. Terribly poor marking. Fergal Hartley getting back into position, but here comes Ford, and that's another chance availed of by Clare. David Ford's first point. Every one of the 6 forwards has now scored for Clare. Always a very encouraging sign. But the marking was so slack. Sideline ball to Clare. Billy O'Sullivan moving back, goal side. Here comes Liam Doyle. Not such a good connection past Billy O'Sullivan, however. That's PJ O'Connell. Down it goes towards Alan Markham. Good defending. That's Cullinan. Looking the sharpest of the Clare full back line so far, but Niall Gilligan getting it back. And he's driven it away to the right. 5 wides for Clare. Some of their play has been uncharacteristic, but they've scored a goal and 9 points playing with the breeze. They lead by 7. And you wondered before this match what kind of a breeze, or kind of a lead did the team playing with the breeze require at half-time to be comfortable heading into the second half. Will Waterford at the end of all of this question whether or not they should have played with that wind at their backs for the first half? All academic now as Taff hits this one in and puts it over the bar. That's the second for Eamon Taff. Got out ahead of his man, and I bet he's a Waterford fan. Doesn't look too pleased anyway, although he's in the Clare section. And it's 1-10 to 1-2. Ken McGrath comes for this one with Sean McMahon. It reaches Tony Brown. Skillful player. Nicely caught again by Brian Quinn, having a stormer at left corner back. Towards Niall Gilligan, breaks it, tapped away by Tom Feeney. Up it comes to the team captain, Stephen Frampton. Billy O'Sullivan racing after this one with Liam Doyle. Doyle wins it beyond Tony Brown. taken up here by PG O'Connell, justifying his inclusion. Nicely inside towards Niall Gilligan, the leggy corner forward. Fergal Hartley hand passing this one as far as Peter Queally, going by Ollie Baker, the two guards playing on one another in the middle of the field. Queally getting it back towards Billy O'Sullivan, waited for it to come, has support. This is lobbed in towards Shanahan, batted out there by Daly. Frank Lowen sweeping it out. He's disappointed that it went out over the sideline. So inside the final 15 seconds or thereabouts of the first half, there will hardly be much time added on by referee Willie Barrett. Brian Green to hit this. 8 points the margin at half-time. Is that sufficient for the Munster champions Clare, who faced the breeze? They got a dream start, a goal in the first couple of minutes, but Anthony Kirwan came back with a goal after 29 for Waterford to give them some hope. And so the sides going in at half-time here in Semple Stadium, where the fare at times has been below what you expect, but that on a very breezy day. And so the scoreline here reads Clare, the champions, 1-10, Waterford 1-2. And so you wonder whether that kind of margin is going to be good enough, because you'd expect Clare to create plenty of chances themselves, even into the breeze. And so let's go down now to Shane Ahern talking with Kieran Mullooly.
Shane Ahern, the Waterford coach, you have some problems out there.
We have a few problems. We're playing against a very strong wind there in the first half. We've created chances, but we didn't take them. Chances like that will have to be taken in the second half. As well as that, we're a bit loose around the half-back line sometimes. We're winning a lot of ball at centre field, we're not making enough use of it. We've made the chances and we're not taking enough of them. We'll take them in the second half.
It also looks like some of the refereeing decisions have not pleased you.
They haven't pleased me. The first minute, Dan Shanahan got his jersey nearly pulled off from up there, and there's nothing about it. And then he gets it free over here, which they get the goal off of. Some of them are a bit hairy, all right, but he might balance it up in the second half. Maybe we're due a few now.
Shane Ahern, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
There's Gerald McCarthy there, along with John Galvin. John, who played in those two Munster finals in 82 and 83, shattering defeats for Waterford, and Clare come back out for the start of the second half. We're not anticipating any changes there, and a quick look around reveals that that's exactly the situation. Indeed, Ger Loughnane has some interesting things to say before the match here. He's talking about the sense of occasion that you always get at a Munster final, whereas the All-Ireland final is more business-like. And down in front of me here, one of the officials is trying to get the various selectors in from the sideline, because they have been parading up and down, and each side trying to gain a slight advantage. So Gerald's been going up and down, and Ger Loughnane's been going up and down, and the officials have been trying to keep them back. And it's made life difficult for our camera down just at ground level, trying to bring you the very best pictures, and of course for television coverage as well. Second half is underway, and the Munster champions have a handsome lead here, but would expect to be fairly bombarded by Waterford in the second half. What will be the Waterford, what will be the Clare reaction? Straight away it's in towards Anthony Kirwan. Micheál White is just to his right. It's 2 against 1. What a start! Kirwan has a second goal, and Waterford have the best possible start to the second half. Only a minute gone, and it's 1-10 to 2-2. Well, they were saying that they weren't scoring any goals. Didn't get goals in the last couple of matches, and now they've got 2. But more importantly, one of them has arrived right at the start of the half. Well, if that doesn't give them a major lift, we hardly know what will. PG O'Connell looking for a rapid response in towards Eamon Taff. Alan Markham's there as well. Markham, the goal scorer, after 2 minutes for Clare. Lovely pick up. The hand pass towards Eamon Taff. First touch let him down a little. Flannery was in quickly. Still Taff. Clare stung by that, wanting to get into a scoring situation. Waterford grouping, and the referee will throw that ball in, I'm sure. It'll be on the 20-metre line, and he'll want everybody back, the requisite distance. Here's Ollie Baker. Tony Brown. Baker wondering what he was doing that time. It's a huge one downfield towards Flynn. Blocked down brilliantly there by Frank Lohan. Once again, it's Paul Flynn, man who set off and made the first goal. Missed his stroke there. Blocked down by Brian Lohan. Here comes Anthony Daly, Clare team captain. Away towards Jamesy O'Connor, starting life for the second half at right half forward. Brian Green is chasing after him. But so far in this match, Jamesy has been winning those sprints. The shot by Jamesy, and it's a wonderful point. We've seen some fabulous scores in this match. And it's 1-11 to 2-2, Clare's first point of the second half. But this, the goal after just about a minute of the second half. Brian Lohan missed that time. In came Kerwin, right into the top corner. Clare have a player down injured. Play continues. Much concern there. Colin Flynn going in. And they'll all be sure expressing their concern just to see exactly who has gone down. This is a match which is being seen everywhere and anywhere throughout Ireland today. And also some goal nurses in foreign parts like Elsie Fenton from Eglish in Waterford, who's in the Sudan, and Noel Slattery from Partine, who's in Angola, watching this challenge here. David Ford going in, down on his knees. Peter Queally was crashing in after him, and Ford is okay. So David Ford is okay. Line ball taken quickly, back to the goalkeeper from Brian Quinn to David Fitzgerald. Queally batting it down. Helped forward there by Billy O'Sullivan. Had a quiet first half. Frank Lohan leaves it behind. Flynn trying to get it in, but it's Lohan once again. Up towards the man who's happily recovered. Markham towards Eamon Taff. Good turn by Taff. Trying to get away from Sean Cullinan. Next it was Flannery coming in, but not a fair side-to-side charge as it's defined. And so it's going to be a free in for Clare. Willie Barry just noting the time. This was Eamon Taff setting off there past Sean Cullinan, and Flannery coming in, and it was a frontal charge really. Ford is still receiving some attention out of shot. Taff is okay. Clare have the free, and it'll be Jamesy O'Connor to take it. Looking for another one. 6 points now in all for Jamesy O'Connor. Out of that tally of 112. David Ford is still being helped over there by Gerlach Nan. Following a little collision a while ago. And he's making a switch. And Ford seems to be going up into the top corner. Meanwhile, Waterford also attending. Down it goes towards Ken McGrath. Picking it up at the second attempt. Beaten away there by Liam Doyle. Back towards Tony Brown. Always struggling to try and pick that ball up because of the closeness of the Clare challenges. Baker hurls that one forward, but there's nobody coming for it. There's Sean Cullinan. And he's okay, back on his feet once again. This is Micheál White, substitute, and he's put it over the bar. Micheál White getting his first point of this Munster final. So it's 112 to 2-3, 15 points to 9. It was Tony Brown here who was struggling to get that ball away, successfully managed to get it hand passed away in the end after he was struck. Colin Lynch in there battling with Ken McGrath. Brian Green there as well, and the impish Jamesy O'Connor. What a wonderful player he is. Up towards David Ford, who has now been repositioned at top of the right, beaten by Tom Feeney. Feeney for Waterford, Fergal Hartley for the Dacia men. Down towards Anthony Kerwin. Kerwin causing problems today for Brian Lowen, and that's a great score. 2 goals and a point now for Anthony Kerwin. And the faithful fans of Waterford hurling believe they've still got a great chance, trying to eat into the Clare lead. But every time they come back with a score, Clare reply. That's been the nature of this second half. 112 to 2-4. 5 points between the teams. David Ford trying to nurse that one away from the attentions of the Waterford backs. Brian Flannery, lovely skill. Wonderful catch there by Anthony Daly. Firing it back in towards Eamon Taff. Markham's there as well, but so too is Sean Cullinan. Trusty full back, that was into the back there by Colin Lynch on Tony Brown. Free to Waterford. Well, Waterford have made this great start to the second half as Sean Cullinan continues to receive attention for what looks like cramp. Down in the area in front of us here, Clare are preparing to make a change, and Conor Clancy is about to come on for the injured David Ford. Clancy coming on to play in his 11th championship match. Will that mean a variation in the approach of Clare where forward work is concerned? Perhaps they'll try and play that ball in high to Clancy. Cullinan has the thigh very heavily strapped, as you can see. And there's the new man in. So Conor Clancy in, and likewise Waterford about to make a change. Into their backline will come Mark O'Sullivan. Mark, who played in the league final, was a bit unlucky that day as Sean Cullinan is forced out of the match. That's a big loss. The experienced man who played at the Munster final in 1989 against Tip. Off he goes, replaced by Mark O'Sullivan. So changes aplenty. Meanwhile, it's Tony Brown, hoping to keep the trend going where Waterford scores are concerned. And again, a huge one, and it's dropped over the bar. Tony Brown's first point, bit by bit, in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. Waterford are edging closer to the Munster and All-Ireland champions. This time it was Tony Brown, and that's a glorious strike and a wonderful score. Davy Fitzgerald pucking it out, 112, 15 points to 2-5, which is 11. Dan Shanahan. From this attack, they'll be hoping to get within 3 points. It's broken up, however. Anthony Daly up towards PG O'Connell. That's won back splendidly there by Stephen Frampton. Dropping right into the Clare back line. Here's Paul Flynn. This spells danger. Down he goes, and the referee says tripped just outside the large rectangle. Oh, it really was a moment of danger there for the Clare backs. You just can't let this fellow loose. This was the Ballygunner himself, Paul Flynn, raiding in there. Frank Lowen was after it as well. His brother Brian, as always, not too far away from the action. So it's going to be a free in from the 20-metre line. Gerald McCarthy has done some wonderful work with this Waterford team, making sure his star corner forward is okay. Hitting into the goal at the town end here in Semple Stadium, behind which there are thousands upon thousands of Waterford fans. They haven't won the Munster Championship for 35 years. Paul Flynn steadies himself and drives it high up over the bar, and indeed out of the ground as well. A second point from a free scored by Paul Flynn. And now Waterford are within touching distance of Clare's lead. Only 3 points between the teams. A really good spirited second half. That time it's knocked ahead there into the Clare inside forward line. Just two of them there. Niall Gilligan trying to dispossess Mark O'Sullivan. Gilligan, a player who will always cause problems to backs. Players calling for it. Jamesy O'Connor. They'd like another point here just to keep the distance between the teams, but he can't supply it here. First wide of the second half and the 6th in all in this game for Clare. Well, what a match we're having now. But remember, Waterford have the wind at their backs, and it's a very, very strong breeze. Landers puck out towards Shanahan, runs on towards Ken McGrath. First touch not good. Picked up here by Billy O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, who made his debut in '88. Here's Shanahan coming in again, in towards the side. Stopped initially, partially blocked, and it's gone wide, but it's got to be a 65. The umpire had a doubt, but the referee had none. The work by Dan Shanahan then rewarded. The mentors going back towards the bench, some of them that is. As we said earlier, we do realise how the television coverage can be impaired somewhat by constant traffic of people moving up and down in front of the cameras. I suppose it's all in the nature of the occasion. Tony Brown to hit this. Verse 65. Taking maximum care, dropping it into the left, however, and that was a really good chance. I suppose they're never easy, but he had a howling gale behind him. Every vantage point taken up here. The man behind the wire there, looking concerned. In midfield, it's Baker against Queally. Clare leading by 3 points. PG O'Connor lets that one spill away. Dan Shanahan just running out of space. Clare get the sideline ball. Gerlach Nan out of picture, urging his side on. Gerald McCarthy doing likewise for Waterford. Baker to hit this. It's a great connection. In it goes, right in beyond Gilligan, beyond Taff as well. And Landers comes straight out between the two Claremen. Not a good pass out to Jamesy O'Connor. Blocked down in towards Gilligan again. There's another chance. Stopped by the goalkeeper. Finally the clearance comes out towards Jamesy O'Connor again. Wonderful excitement here in Thurles. It's in towards Colin Lynch. Lynch going forward with the stick. One of the Claremen, the Waterford men has lost the stick, I think. And in the end, the chance is lost as well. Well, after all of that, Clare come away with nothing. This was a block here as Jamesy was coming in to hit that one. And the second one was by Gilligan, and a great stop by Brendan Landers. It was the bad hand pass, however, from Landers to Jamesy that set all of that trouble up. That's a wonderful catch. Here's Ken McGrath inside towards Dave Bennett. Oh, it's gone over the back from Dan Shanahan, I should say. Dan Shanahan with his second point. It really is a wonderful occasion here now. Waterford fans who've had nothing but dreams and heartbreak in recent years, and now they're within 2 points of the Munster and All-Ireland champions. Whoever loses will go through to the quarter-finals, the draw to be made tonight. But what about this for skill and an absolutely tremendous catch there by Ken McGrath. Out into the centre, Liam Doyle has it. They've been in a crisis many times in the past. Ken McGrath again, getting it down towards Mihal White. Clare still leading. Brian Quinn had such a good first half. Anthony Daly supplying that ball in towards the forwards. That's stopped there by Tom Feeney, who's taken over at full back. Alan Markham protesting, but it's going to be Waterford's free. Every possible space taken up here in Semple Stadium. This wonderful hurling surface. Stephen Frampton, a huge one down towards Paul Flynn. Comes out again towards Dan Shanahan. That's another one for Dan Shanahan, and it's 2 in a row now. his third point in all. And Waterford fans now really have that self-belief that their side is finally going to triumph. It's still a tall order against wonderful champions, but the margin is now down to just the minimum, a point between them. Still plenty of time to go. Queally bats it back. Sean McMahon facing towards his own goal. Liam Doyle, lovely ball to pick out. PJ O'Connell scored an absolutely brilliant point in the first half. Good play by Frampton. Ollie Baker next in. The diagonal pass across towards Niall Gilligan. He collides with Brian Green. Both players down injured. Well, it really is one of those occasions where the managers who've played their part firing up their charges, and the charges are not shirking the challenges. Everybody's going in as if dear life depends upon every 50-50 ball. This another block just moments ago here by Stephen Frampton, off the stick there of PJ O'Connell. And little cameos like that and moments of wonderful individual skill make this such an occasion. So the team medical officers are called into action. The injury just moments ago here from another angle. And the Waterford team doctor is called in just as the Clare man. The team doctor is Dr. Tom Higgins from Dungarvan. And Shay Fitzpatrick in there as well, attending to the Waterford men. Meanwhile, it's Pádraig Quinn looking after the injured Clare players with Colm Flynn. Both sets of supporters playing their full part. Niall Gilligan's okay. This man must be worrying. Yes, he's back on the fags again. It's that kind of day, that kind of tension. As Jamesy O'Connor hits it, puts it between the posts, and that might steady a nerve or two for Clare. 7 points for Jamesy out of a tally of 113. It's a very impressive individual tally once again. Brendan Landers, a huge puck out. Cross towards Ken McGrath. Clare win it back. Just about. Colin Lynch trying to make some headway. Stop, Billy O'Shea's there. Ken McGrath's there as well. Picked up in the end after all that uncertainty by Paul Flynn. Across towards Micheál White. White from Mount Sion. Taking Brian Quinn out of position. Back to Peter Queally. And that's gone to the left, but it's still in play. Back to retrieve it there. Liam Doyle. Not getting it away quickly enough. It's Brian Lohan now. Brian has discarded that red helmet. After it once again. Challenge there by Dan Shanahan. So much endeavour, and honest endeavour at that, being displayed by players from both teams all over the pitch. It's nothing more than you expect when the Munster title is at stake. Concern in the face of Gerald McCarthy, and that's Sean Cullinan there limping away. Had a very good match, now forced out through injury. There are 15 minutes to go. Clare with a 2-point lead. Anthony Daly, having repositioned in no particular hurry, wanted to make sure of this one. Good cut up, but Queally gets out there, bravely taking it with a left hand inside towards Paul Flynn against Frank Lohan. This time it's Anthony Daly. What a captain he's proved over the years. Brian Quinn trying to get it out. Paul Flynn is in there. So too was Ken McGrath. Ollie Baker scooping it away from danger. This is Brian Green. Beyond Brian Lohan, but it's gone wide and doesn't cause any problems. That's the second wide of the second half by Waterford, but they really hit the wides in the first half with 7. So their tally now is 9. But you still got that feeling that this game can go either way. It was tight also when Clare played their semi-final match with Cork, and then they really asserted themselves in the last 10 to 15 minutes. But today they're playing against the breeze, and they're playing against the spirit and commitment and drive of Waterford. Clare get the line ball. Fergal Hartley moves back into position. Every man giving every last ounce of energy, straining every nerve. The crowd playing its full part. Baker cutting it in here again. Peter Queally going back, denying Alan Markham. Comes back towards PJ O'Connell. Nicely across, beautifully taken up there by Colin Lynch, but that's gone to the left. Doesn't score an awful lot, but he really is the man who works tirelessly in midfield in the interest of the Banner County. So the Waterford subs, the mentors, the county board officials as well, hoping, dreaming perhaps still. And the sun making a very welcome reappearance. Here's Ollie Baker. Options right and left. PJ O'Connell. Great block down by Frampton. He's lost the stick. Little more he could do. Quealy's after it, so too is Ollie Baker. So many honest, rugged clashes here. That time the Clare player coming off second best. This, just moments ago here, is where there was a jersey pulled back. It was Ollie Baker. And Ollie coming out of that particular tie, just a little battered and bruised somewhat. Pat Fitzgerald there, the county secretary. But Ollie is such a strongly built fellow. It would take more than that, I think, to keep him out of it. It ends with handshakes, I can tell you. But moments ago here, PJ O'Connell, watch for Stephen Frampton. That is brilliant. It's taken by Daly, and once again he pops up to get a vital long-range free and to put it between the posts and make sure that everybody in Clare can say, what crisis? There's no crisis. Clare remain firmly in front. Anthony Daly's first point of the match. Well, it was about at this stage in the game against Cork that he also pointed a long-range free, and after that Clare just took a firm grip. Brian Green has the sideline ball. Dan Shanahan waiting. Dan, who's got 3 points in this match so far. Green to hit it. Wind right behind him. Beyond Ollie Baker, but he goes back, has the time to get it away from Queally. Take a good shoulder. Ollie having to hand pass it out to McMahon. A huge one way downfield towards Niall Gilligan. Over there as well as Alan Markham. Scooped away by Green. Back in to support him. There is the substitute Conor Clancy. And it's going to be Clare's ball. Just about 10 minutes remaining now. James O'Connor to hit this. Right in there, Tom Feeney trying to get it away for Waterford. Niall Gilligan still trying to pressurise there. The hand pass comes back towards O'Connell, another very good block. Back out it comes once more, Ollie Baker slipping. Getting it beyond Frampton. A good ball to Clancy! And that's a great move, finished off in spectacular fashion by Conor Clancy. And once again, Clare blow aside Waterford and expand their lead even more. It's Clare who've come back in the last 5 or 6 minutes. 115, 18 points to 2-8, which is 14. Tony Brown. Again, they try to get back within striking distance. They get another chance here. Shanahan half hitting that one. Coming away from the cornerback position there. That's nicely away by Frank Lowen. Only as far as Tony Brown, however. They need this one to be on target, but it's not. Disappointment is Tony Brown's lot. He's still making a point there. And the Waterford mentor down at the other end, who is Shane Ahern, is trying to bring the referee's attention to perhaps that should have been a point. The umpire has a view on it. It's a point. Tony Brown gets it. Shane Ahern went in there to play advocate. Clearly one of the umpires had a doubt. The other man had waved it wide. But the man on the right-hand side, as we look across here, had no doubt, nor had the referee. It went off the upright, and Gerald McCarthy has had his name taken by the referee behind the goal. So Tony Brown, the scorer of 2 points. And the amended scoreline now shows there's just 3 between them. 8 minutes remaining. Davy Fitzgerald pucking out, hoping that Clare at the end of this afternoon will have won a 3rd Munster title in 4 years. It's still O'Connell. Frampton still chasing. Support coming in the figure of Billy O'Sullivan. That's Tom Feeney, who has been held back. Free out to Waterford. Number 17 there, of course, is the man who came in during the second half. Mark O'Sullivan playing at corner back. Fergie Toohey about to be just introduced in the next couple of moments. Landers sweeping this one downfield, batted out. That's Doyle. Such an assured performer down the years. PG O'Connell, they'll say his best years are behind him, but he's given a fighting performance this afternoon and challenged for everything, and that'll probably be a throw ball. And Fergie Toohey has just been introduced into the Clare attack. And I wonder, will it be Eamon Taff who'll make way? It's looking like that. Throw has been taken, Taff's gone. Toohey's in, straight away into the thick of the action here, the number 23 against Fergal Hartley. Both sides looking for a late boost. But Waterford have given a good account of themselves during the second half. So Taff is off, and Fergie Toohey, one of the heroes of last year's Munster win against Tipperary, part of the action. That's beautifully in. This is a lovely turn again by a very sweet hurler. Paul Flynn knocking it in, but straight into the goalkeeper's grasp. Just held his footing sufficiently to make the clearance, and that'll be a sideline ball. Further pressure on the Clare backs. Tony Brown, that's beautifully in, and that's another one, and it's gone over the bar. 3 points now for Tony Brown, and the Waterford fans continue to have faith and belief in their team. Is there sufficient time remaining? 5 minutes left, 2 between them. Now what a third Waterford goal would do. That's what they'll be thinking. But they'll be happy, I'm sure, just to withstand the next few minutes. Fergie Toohey, nicely inside for PG O'Connell. This to stretch the lead once again to 3 points. When there's a doubt, Clare can always be depended upon to come back, to take the chances. And that latest one by PJ O'Connell. 116 to 210. Over the head that time of Dan Shanahan, picked up by Ollie Baker, working tirelessly around the midfield area. Tom Feeney is coming racing out for this. Needs to get it away quickly, failed to do so because of the pressure again from those Clare forwards. Defence for Clare seems to begin at number 15. Clancy is disappointed. It'll be Brian Green to hit it. Remember, 3 points between the teams as Sean Cullinan looks on from the sideline but can do no more. Injured. Green makes a good connection. Down towards Ken McGrath. Hasn't scored in this match so far. Pressurising the corner back. Kerwin's in next to try and challenge. Scorer of 2 goals in this match, together with a point. Stalemate at the end of all of that, broken up because of the referee's intervention. It's going to be a free in. on the 20-metre line. Paul Flynn has gone across to take it. Peter Queally waits, Billy O'Sullivan there as well. 2-10, of course, 16 points, 1-16, 19 points. Flynn fires it in, but he's fired it to the right at the worst possible time. Flynn has scored 2 points in this match, but they both came from frees. He was involved in setting up the goal for Kerwin as well. The fans will have wanted more, however. David Fitzgerald plucking it out with under 3 minutes to go. Down by Billy O'Sullivan. This is Ken McGrath. Micheál White's waiting across, the man in the red helmet. Quinn is beside him, and that's a free, and it's going to be a free in for Waterford. White is annoyed because there's no advantage. The referee has made the call. It's going to be a free in. No advantage coming from that. Sean Daly is also in with the action. He was the man who was full forward when Waterford won the under-21 title in 1992. So there he is. Ger O'Loughlin is also about to be introduced for Clare. So a change has been made. Seems to be Billy O'Sullivan is coming off. Yes, Billy O'Sullivan is off, and here it is! Back of the net! Paul Flynn! The sides are level! Minutes into the second half. Whatever about the lack of advantage, it didn't seem to unsettle Paul Flynn, and the sides are level for the first time since the match started. This was the free again. They were all on the goal line. A conventional 20-metre free, and Flynn takes the responsibility and buries it. Niall Gilligan's gone off. The Sparrow is in for Clare. Now, is there a winner? What a tense occasion. As close a call as Ger Loughnan's side has ever had in the Munster Championship in recent years. Backed by the breeze. Waterford came back. Here's Brian Flannery trying to get that ball away. Tony Brown, oh, it's a high challenge by PJ O'Connell, right to the face. It causes a minor disturbance, and the referee very quickly isolating PJ O'Connell, but he did lead with the stick. And there's no doubting what the fans want. Again, the referee making the note, taking the name, and he's off. Clare are down to 14 men as we head into injury time with the sides level, and this was the challenge again. Tony Brown, a very definite striking action, not harsh, no doubt about it. So now, how will Clare fare? Gerald McCarthy's on trying to make changes. Waterford will have the free. Still plenty of booing and jeering going on. Paul Flynn has come back to take the free. Now this is back into his own half-back line. We're in injury time. This may be the free to win the championship for Waterford. Remember 73 here. Then it was Limerick and Tip. This is much farther out. He's on his own 45-metre line. Really gripping drama. A goal and 2 points. A strong breeze backing him. What chance has he of getting it? It's high. Seems to be going to the right, and it's gone wide. Well, it was a high percentage risk. They knew it, but they went for it. It looks like it's going to end in a draw. But that's been said before. How much time will the referee add on? He's looking at his watch. It's 19 points to 19 in points. There's still a few seconds, Willie Barrett decides. Not anymore, it's all over. And the Munster hurling final has finished level. Ger Loughna's side was 8 points ahead at half-time. But Gerald McCarthy's side battled, aided by the breeze. Clare created 27 chances and took 17. Waterford created 31 chances, 4 more than Clare, and took 13 scores. They live to fight another day. Nobody will be too disappointed with that. And you can be sure that there'll be another full house wherever it's played. And at full time here, it's Clare 16 points, Waterford 3 goals and 10, 19 points apiece. And Ger Loughnan is down talking with Kieran Mullooly.
Ger Loughnan, have you ever seen a game finish in quite such a dramatic form?
Well, what a game from start to finish today. The pace of the game, the crowd on both sides, the excitement that was there. Sure, Munster Championship hurling at its very, very best, and everybody delighted for Waterford that they've got another chance. I know we'd have liked they've held on there in the end, but Waterford deserved the draw at least, and I think the fairest result, if ever there was a fair result to a game, this was it today. A tremendous game.
They might have won it, Ger. They had that last free, and you were shaking, I'm sure.
Definitely, we were really shaking there towards the end. They had us on the run for the last 20 minutes. You know, their level of fitness, their level of skill, their movement off the ball and on the ball. They're a tremendous team. Waterford have proven today that they are an outstanding team, and what a day we're going to have here again whenever the replays.
But you're still Munster champions and you're still All Ireland
Well,
champions.
just hanging on by our fingernails, but we're still out there, still and have another day to fight.
Ger Loughnan, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, a very frank Ger Loughnan, as you expect, frank about his side's performance today and talking about the next day. What a day that should be. So presumably the quarter-final draw due for tonight will not now be able to take place because there has not been a loser here. Two sides who refuse to yield and refuse to die. And let's go down and get the Waterford perspective. Dan Shanahan scored 3 points. He's with Kieran.
Dan Shanahan, what an incredible finish.
It's a great finish for Waterford. Came back in there, Paul Flynn stuck the goal. And it was a great finish for Waterford.
You showed in the second half that you would come back. A couple of superb goals.
There's some great goals, Matty Cowan and Paul Flynn there. Fabulous goals. Even the first half, Matty Cowan got a great goal. We have the ability to come back. We knew going in at that stage, 8 points down, with a win like that, we're bound to score.
And as you enjoy your drink, you must have thought at the end that you could have just snatched the victory.
We could have snatched it, yeah. We could have snatched at the end of it. Maybe if we took a few more chances, we could have snatched it.
Dan Shanahan, enjoy the rest of that drink. Congratulations.